When shopping for a wireless gaming mouse, we always ask these questions. Does it perform well? Will the shape fit my hand? But there's a question that always gets mixed answers. Will it last long? This is the ROG Pugio 2, a $99 premium wireless gaming mouse that offers great performance, shaped well to accommodate any hand, but most importantly, answers the burning question of, will it last long? The Pugio 2, other than being a premium offering from ASUS, offers a unique feature that is yet to be seen on other brands: Hotswappable micro switches. Alright, we can all agree that it sucks when our precious little rodents start double-clicking shortly after the warranty expires, right? Switches are pretty cheap, but the tools and technical know-how to replace a mouse switch isn't. ASUS makes it easy for anyone to repair their mouse once it starts to double-click, and you don't really need to buy additional tools other than a screwdriver, which you probably already have at home. So apart from that one distinguishing feature, the Pugio 2 has a very impressive build. No creaks, no rattle, it just feels very solid all throughout. The top part has a matte finish and made from translucent plastic. The sides are slightly curved inward and textured to help in gripping. Removing the magnetic top cover reveals the compartment for the wireless USB dongle and the removable ROG logo, which you can replace with this included blank plate with your own custom logo. How you can put your own design in there? Go figure. Completely taking the mouse apart, we can see that the battery is placed right at the middle, which accounts for its balanced weight distribution. And here, we can see what switches were used for the mouse. So the stock switches for the main buttons are Armory switches rated at 50 million clicks. These are pretty decent switches and are also found in the more expensive G Pro wireless. Scroll wheel encoder is made from TTC, and the switch is made by Wano. Side buttons are Wano white dots. Now, you may have noticed that it has side buttons on both sides. It's because the Pugio 2 is a true ambidextrous mouse. Now, depending on whether you're right-handed or not, you can replace the side buttons with flat ones so you don't accidentally trigger them with your ring finger. You don't necessarily have to take the mouse apart just to replace the side buttons or replace the main switches. All you need to do is remove the top cover and unscrew the clickers. This will give you access to replace the switches using the included switch puller and replace the magnetic side buttons with your preference. It's amazing that the mouse only weighs at 105 grams with all these jammed inside. Technically, this is not lightweight in today's standards, but it's a good middle ground weight, especially if you're someone who's not in the hype train of ultra lightweight gaming mouse. Alright, now let's check out the buttons. So the main clickers are separated from the main shell as you saw earlier. That's a nice thing because it helps in reducing pre and post travel. There's some little side play on the clickers, but they're not exactly deal breaking. Overall, the clickers paired with the Omron switches produce a light and snappy click, which I find satisfying. The side buttons feel just as satisfying as the main buttons with a slight mushiness as they bottom out. They sit at a spot that's easy to reach regardless of what grip style I use, so I've no complaints there. They're also designed in a way that they help out the thumb when lifting the mouse. The scroll wheel is fairly light with subtle tactile steps. It gets a bit noisy as you scroll faster, but overall a decent enough wheel with no wobbling and decent tension on the clicks. Alright, here's a sound test of the buttons for you guys. The shape is nothing short of impressive. Measuring at 126mm long, 40mm high, and with a mid-hump that curves gradually to the back, my 17cm long hand can nicely lay on it, getting ample support from my palm regardless of what grip style I chose. The side grooves are not very aggressive, which I find safe for most grip styles. Grip width is at 57mm and the widest point at the back is 64mm, which helps in properly supporting the entirety of my palm. Switching to my relaxed palm or fingertip grip isn't so challenging since the sides are not too deep to begin with. Now, while having a safe shape, the Pugio 2 is quite a picky rodent, favoring medium to large size hands. So if your hands are less than 15cm, palming the mouse would be your best choice for a secured grip. And for the recommended hand lengths, 14 to 21cm for palm, 15 to 22 for claw, and 16 to 23 for fingertip. You can refer to this table for more details and note that these are just estimates and my personal thoughts. Your experience may vary. Now, a $99 mouse deserves no less than the best specs and internals, and the Pugio 2 is no stranger to that. It's powered by an 800 mAh battery, giving the mouse up to 69 hours of battery life in 2.4 GHz mode and more than 100 hours in Bluetooth. That is without RGB illumination though. Per my experience, it can last up to 48 hours with RGB set at 50% brightness and the mouse set at 1000Hz polling rate. Not too shabby, eh? By the way, the RGB lights don't turn off even if I move the mouse, which is pretty nice. At its heart is a Pixar Bmw 3335 sensor, which remains to be a top wireless sensor by today's standards. It specs out at 16,000 max DPI, 125 to 1000Hz polling rate, 400 IPS tracking speed, 40G acceleration, and a liftoff distance of 1mm. It's a great and flawless sensor, and for the usual tests, it tracks pixel by pixel with zero jitters, has zero angle snapping and very minimal liftoff sensor rattle, zero acceleration issues, and guaranteed to not spin out or lose track no matter how fast you swipe. Now, speaking of swiping, the Pugio 2 could use some improvement with the mouse skates. As you can see, it's still using typical Teflon skates. Okay, they're not exactly bad as they glide just fine, but come on, PTFE skates are way better. Even budget gaming mice have that. Now, we can also see here that the DPI button is at the bottom, so you can't do any on-the-fly DPI adjustment here. Also, we have here a button for Bluetooth pairing, and a slider for turning off the mouse and switching between Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz wireless connection. Tri-mode connection is pretty helpful, especially if you like switching in between devices. Now, Bluetooth is a nice feature as well to save battery, but you should not be gaming on it because number 1, you just don't, and number 2, why would you? I personally stick to the 2.4 GHz wireless connection and charge up the mouse when it starts to run low on juice. Which now leads us to my other complaint. I really don't like the cable that came with the mouse. It's rubbery and janky. Good thing I have my trusty paracord USB-C cable here, which feels better to use. Charging and gaming with the default cable is still manageable, but you need to properly position the cable or use a mouse bungee to lessen cable drag. RGB is a luxury we often find even on the less expensive gaming mouse. Though it's completely unnecessary and just adds weight to a mouse, I can't deny that the Pugio 2 has some really tasteful RGB implementation. Somehow I think it helps in preventing you from raging when you die in-game cause you have something nice to look at while you're waiting to respawn. The ASUS Armory Crate software fully enables the mouse, and with its help, you can fine-tune the DPI, adjust main button response, create macros or button assignments, surface tune the mouse if you're using any ROG branded mousepad, adjust liftoff distance, and go YOLO with the RGB. Alright, so how is it using the ROG Pugio 2? I'd say it's pretty good. I enjoyed the time I had with the mouse, and I find the shape suits my relaxed grip style quite well that the weight had become irrelevant for me at this point. Over those 4 weeks of testing, I once again proved that shape precedes weight when it comes to choosing the right gaming mouse. Sure, weight is still a factor, but since the mouse is not super heavy to begin with, it wasn't exactly hard to adjust. Will a lighter mouse help me game better? Maybe. Who knows, maybe ROG will come up with a lighter iteration of this one because it would be such a waste to have this shape tied down to a 105-gram mouse. The Hotswappable micro switches are a great feature and I wish more manufacturers would adapt this. I commend ASUS ROG for pioneering this tech and I hope they continue to do it on their succeeding mouse releases. To conclude, I think the ROG Pugio 2's $99 price tag is well justified. You get a high-performance wireless gaming mouse with a safe shape, decently weighted, and with a ton of premium features. Tri-mode connection, great battery performance, and guaranteed longevity offered by its Hotswappable micro switches and excellent build quality. That's it for this video. Big thanks to ASUS for sending this in. Like, dislike, comment down if you have questions or anything to say. Get subscribed so you don't miss out on my next uploads, and as always, thanks for watching and see you guys soon.